Welcome in to the 48 Minutes Podcast on Believe. I'm Ross Geiger, the former NBA video coordinator, and I'm joined alongside Bruce Bernstein, our four-time Emmy Award winner who spent more than 3 decades at ESPN producing NBA shows, SportsCenter, and soaking up knowledge from the best hoop analysts in the business. Also joining us is the 2-time Emmy Award winner, Michael Worldby Freer, who's a senior writer at Stat Factor, specializing in writing advanced statistical NBA reports for various announcers across the league. This is episode number 214, the Joakim Noah episode, as the one-time Florida Gator, nicknamed Sticks, won the league's Defensive Player of the Year honors in 2014. And just for clarification purposes, he did that with the Chicago Bulls, not the New York Knicks. Worldby. I wasn't sure if you'd remember what team that came with.
I know what team it didn't come with. I'll put it that way.
And with that, let's get right into our 48 minutes weekend preview. And on Friday night, we've got my guy, Giannis and the Bucks in the City of Angels taking on Luka, LeBron, and the Lakers. Bruce, what are you looking forward to in this matchup?
When Giannis is on the court, the Bucks are 13-9. When he isn't, they're 3-11. The Lakers were blown out by Houston on Christmas. J.J. Redick ripped into the team, and they have been better, winning 3 of their next 4 games. Austin Reeves is out for at least another 2 to 3 more weeks, but Marcus Smart and Jake LaRavia have played well in his absence. Luka leads the league in scoring, and after seeing his 19-year streak of double-figure games end a month ago, LeBron has bounced back, averaging 25 in 11 games since, all of them in double figures. But for Milwaukee, Miles Turner is having one of the worst offensive seasons of his career, and he needs to snap out of it like now. Kevin Porter Jr. and Ryan Rollins need big games too, although both of them have actually been pretty good this season. But I do like the Lakers at home in this one.
All right, Worldby.
Leave it to the Bucks to go 4-1 in the first 5 games with Giannis back in the lineup. And all anybody's going to remember is they lost to the Wizards.
Yep.
The one loss. It just can't happen. You can't lose to the Wizards. You just can't. And now they have to go and play the West Coast team, Western Conference team. They're only 3-6 against the West this season. The Bucks are just. I get down on because as you guys know, I predicted big things for them. I thought they were going to be better than what they really are, but they're in the bottom half of the league in both offensive efficiency. They're bottom 10 in that, 21st, and defensive efficiency, 18th. Well, you're not winning too many games doing that, and you're right where you are. You're battling to try and get in the play-in field, which who thought that was going to happen before the season? And then you get the Lakers, who are such a mystery this season. They're 22-11 entering Monday, the 4th best record in the league, but they have a point differential of 0. That's incredible. They have the best clutch record. They're an amazing 12-0 in clutch games, but they've lost 6 times by 20 or more points. Yeah. So I can't figure them out yet. There is no trend other than they boggle your mind with how they could be one of the best teams in the league and literally one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah, that is mind-boggling for sure. I mean, believe it or not, this might be mind-boggling to you guys as well. The matchup I'm looking forward to in this one is DeAndre Ayton versus Giannis, because by no means am I an Ayton fan, but Ayton has the size, the strength, and the athleticism required to make Giannis really work offensively. We've seen it in years past. We saw it in the 2021 NBA Finals for a little bit. Not every game, but a little bit throughout that. There were flashes. But I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I truly think Ayton defends Giannis about as good as anyone I've seen in a matchup one-on-one, just because he is able to kind of extend himself out to the perimeter and keep sliding his feet, making it tough on Giannis. So that could be a fun matchup. And then, of course, as far as my prediction's concerned, I do think the Lakers will take care of business at home. But rest assured, Giannis will dazzle under the bright lights in LA, because nobody likes to compete against the best more than Giannis. So he'll be ready to battle against the Lakers' cast of stars.
Is he going to be house hunting, Ross, while he's out in LA? Is he going to be just,
I hope not. I don't know why you had to go there, but
I'm just. He only makes a couple trips out there a year. Could be a future site. It could be his future home.
I hope not. I want to keep him in Milwaukee.
I do too.
Well, not really. I mean, if you could get him to Madison Square Garden, I'm sure you'd take that too.
in a second.
Yeah. Bruce, you're on mute.
I think he'd feel right at home in Detroit and Greektown.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. At that point, don't even move, Giannis, please. Now, moving on to Saturday night, Bruce, your Celtics better cue up the tribute video for a friend of the show because Luke Cornett is back in town making his first return to Boston as the Spurs face the Celtics. So what are you looking forward to in this one? I believe Wemby should be back for this.
I mean, this could turn out to be the game of the week for sure, and one of the games of the season, at least in the early going, because two teams have played excellent ball all season. The Spurs were expected to be better this season, but they're on a 58-win pace, wildly exceeding expectations. Boston, they're on pace for 53 wins, far exceeding all expectations. Incredibly, Boston allows the second fewest points in the league, with only OKC allowing fewer. But with Wemby patrolling the paint, the Celtics are going to need to make a lot of threes if they expect to win. And if those shots aren't falling, Spurs are one of the top rebounding teams in the league. San Antonio's 12-5 on the road. They have a balanced attack, 8 players averaging double figures. So as much as it pains me to say this, I'm picking the Spurs in this game, but I do expect it to be close.
All right. Wow. World B?
Spurs have been as impressive a team as any in the league this season. That includes the Thunder. I mean, well, obviously you beat the Thunder 3 times. You've been more impressive, I think. But they're really something. 7-1 this season against the other 6 teams that have a .650 win percentage. That's getting it done. That's not including the Cup final, the in-season tournament final against the Knicks. So that's really impressive. This is how good they are. They're having their worst 5-game stretch entering Monday of the season offensively, and they're still averaging about 114 points per 100 possessions. Which is average at best, but that's bad for them. Yeah. Average is bad for them these days, and that's really about. They had one bad night against the Cleveland Cavaliers over the weekend, or last week, excuse me, when they got held under a point per possession for the first time all season. So they've been getting it done against everybody good. They go up, they live for these matchups, they play better in these matchups, and now they're going to Boston against what I think has been the biggest surprise in the league this season in the Celtics. They're just absolutely fantastic. My MVP candidate, leading candidate, Jaylen Brown. The Celtics number 1 in offense since the beginning of December in terms of efficiency. So they got that going on. And they really have been the most fun team or most impressive team to me in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, no doubt. And last show I spoke about how well the Celtics take care of the basketball, but that's really going to be put to the test against this Spurs group. I'm really looking forward to the matchup in this one and seeing how much defensive havoc Stephon Castle, Dylan Harper, De'Aaron Fox, just to name a few, can put on that Celtics backcourt because they're going to be picking up full court, trying to wear those guys down. Defense is what those guys know best, at least in Castle and Harper's cases there. And I think they're going to bring the energy from Jump Street in this one at Boston. Wemby should be back. And I got to agree with Bruce on this one. I like the Spurs to take the win in Beantown, but I think it's going to be a close one as the Celtics do like to shoot the threes. And a lot of times they tend to make those threes, especially this season. So I think it's going to be a close, fun game in Boston on Saturday. Now, moving on to Sunday, we've got the New York Knicks heading to Portland to face off against the Trailblazers. Now, World B, this one could be a real gritty, grinded out challenge for your squad.
Absolutely, it could, considering the direction these two teams are going in lately. The Knicks are just in an offensive rut right now. They got held under a point per possession against the Hawks of all teams at home the other night. They've lost 4 in a row, with Monday's loss to the Pistons, where they only managed 90 points. I know the Pistons are a good defensive team, but the Knicks are supposed to be this offensive juggernaut. And I put it all on I talk about the offense. The Knicks defense has just been really terrible all season, let's be honest. But the last few games, out of 5 out of the last 6 entering Monday, they've allowed 120 points per 100 possessions. That's not you're just not winning anything with numbers like that. Overall, they're in the bottom half of the league in defensive efficiency. And then you get Portland, won 4 out of the last 5, and beating the Celtics, beating the Spurs in those games is really an eye opener. And the most impressive part about that run for Portland to me is the 4 out of 5. The 5 games came in a 7-day stretch. So that's playing some really good teams, winning those games in such a short period. It's really impressive, and the Knicks got to get it together. It's a good opportunity to get it together, but you're playing a team that's having a good run right now.
Yeah, for sure. Bruce, what are your thoughts?
The Blazers are dangerous but inconsistent. I mean, as you mentioned, I think they handed OKC their first loss of the season back in early November. They've also beaten the Celtics, Lakers, Nuggets, and Spurs this year. Both the Knicks and Blazers are very good rebounding teams, especially on the offensive glass. Donovan Klingen's averaging a double-double, and Portland has 3 players averaging 20 or more, led by probable all-star and most improved candidate, Denny Avdia. But while the Knicks have cooled off a bit lately, they're still a top championship contender, led by MVP candidate Jalen Brunson and a bunch of bucket getters like Karl Anthony Towns, Mikal Bridges, OG Anunoby, Josh Hart, Jordan Clarkson. It will be New York's second game on a 4-game Western swing, and the Knicks have struggled on the road. But this is one of those games that a championship team needs to find a way to win, even if it's a grinded-out, ugly slugfest. So I'm at the Knicks.
All right. As for me, looking at this matchup, I'm looking at the defense again. Can Portland's strong defenders in Toumani Camara, Denny Avdia, Chris Murray, and Sidney Sisco slow down Jalen Brunson and company? It's a tough ask given how talented this Knicks group is, but they have been struggling here recently. Portland is at home, where they have taken care of business against tougher opponents that have visited them there. And it's certainly possible that they could wear out the Knicks in this one and make this one a very interesting finish down the stretch. But I got the Knicks pulling out a tough road win, and this being a big building block for them on this West Coast road trip. All right. Next up, we've got our Classic Card Challenge. I've got 4 cards for each of you. They're all present-day players. And we're going to get started here tonight with World B. So, Bruce, you got some time to kind of warm up a bit. First up, World B, you've got Tyrese Maxey.
One of the guys that we didn't mention for MVP, but certainly it's an oversight on my part that he wasn't mentioned. He's been absolutely fantastic. Maybe I'm just biased because every time I think of him, he's draining yet another jumper against the Knicks this season. So maybe I got that memory etched in my head. But he's been absolutely fantastic. He's another guy, because of all the injuries on that roster, he's had to carry so much of the load. He's leading the NBA in field goal attempts per game. So, he's got to be that guy. And when he's on, he's a first-team All-NBA type player. No question in my mind. It's a situation where you look at his numbers, he's just a chucker. But it's not. That's just not how it is with him. He's got to shoot like that. He's got. Yep. There's nobody when nobody's healthy. When they have Joel Embiid out so much, Paul George, he has to do that. Now his shots have come down with those guys back in the lineup, and they look pretty solid with all 3 of them on the court with the rest of the lineup. But right now, he's one of the top. I would say he's a top 5 MVP candidate for me.
Yeah, and there's a reason I picked that card, World B. I think he should be in that MVP conversation here at this stage of the season. All right, Bruce, this should be an easy dump-off pass and dunk for you. Got your guy, Neemias Queta.
Going into the season, I said he was going to be one of the top 10 improved players in the league, averaging a double-double. Not quite there yet. He's averaging about 10 and 7 or 8. But when you watch him play, he's all about making winning plays for Boston now. He sets good screens out at the top. He's very good on the dribble handoff plays where he hands it off to a guard and rolls to the basket. He's a nice rim runner for those guys, gets a lot of easy dunks, plays within himself, doesn't try to do too much. A couple of nights ago, he actually took a 3-point shot because he had the ball at the 3-point line, and there was nobody within like 12 feet of him, and it was like his third or fourth 3-point attempt of the season. He didn't make it, okay, but he gets a solid A from me and for his play this season. He's been one of the reasons that Boston has done so well.
Yeah, and you miss 100% of shots you don't take, Bruce. So I'm glad Kata let that one fly. All right, World B, here's one of the guys trying to keep your Bucks prediction afloat. That's Ryan Rollins.
Well, really impressive start to the season for Ryan Rollins. I didn't expect him to be as much of a factor as he was. Excellent 3-point shooter. He's been really a reason why they're still afloat, as you mentioned. Terrific defensive guy. He's a in-your-face, grind it out kind of guy. So I've liked him. I think he's been really solid for them this year. A surprise to me. I did not expect him to be. I think he's the third leading scorer on that team, and shooting over 40% from three on a team that likes to hit the three. They shoot it pretty well. One of their few strong suits in Milwaukee is their ability to hit the three-pointer. So, yeah, it's come down a little bit as the percentages usually do, but he's having a really solid season to me.
Yep. All right, Bruce, here's one of the bigger breakout players of the season so far, Keontae George.
Keontae George has been clearly one of the top candidates for most improved player. I mean, dude's just a bucket. I mean, his career looked like it wasn't really going anywhere before he got to Utah. But, I mean, he's had some seriously huge games. I mean, they played Boston twice. They split the 2 games. But he was awesome in both of those games. And, look, Utah, while not really any sort of a candidate for the play-in, has been better than I thought they would be. I thought they were going to probably be number 14 in the West ahead of only Pelicans. But Keontae George, man, I mean, kudos to Will Hardy and the coaching staff there for giving that guy a chance. He's doing, he's shooting it lights out for them.
Totally. All right, we're moving on to some big men here. World B, Jalen Duren.
A double-double machine, one of the best rebounders in the league. He's been really another guy. He's continues to be impressive as his career goes on. He gets better and better. And now he's basically, after Cade Cunningham, their number 2 option offensively. 18 and 10. There's only a couple players in this league that are going 18 and 10. Yep. And they're MVP worthy candidates here, like Giannis, like Luka. So there's not that many guys pulling that off. And because Cade Cunningham is who he is, and because the Pistons just don't get as much pub as they should, he's very quietly that you're not talked about a whole lot. He's just very under the radar guy, but his numbers are absolutely up there with the best.
Yes,
for
they
big
are.
men.
Yeah, well said, World B. All right, your big man, Bruce. Chet Holmgren.
The Oklahoma City string bean. It's been great to see him healthy. He's had injuries that plagued his first couple seasons. He missed pretty much his entire rookie or his first season. He's a dominant shot blocker. I still want to see him go into that weight room a little bit more and put on a few more pounds. But he's highly skilled. He's probably, if not their second best player, no worse than their third best player. And I'd probably put him ahead of Jalen Williams. Fine. Hey, just a great young guy. And, you don't want to go in the paint and, bring any stuff to the rim against him because he'll send it right back at you.
Yeah. Now, one quick follow-up for you here, Bruce. Would you be shocked if he wasn't on the Olympic team for Team USA in 2 years?
I mean, I'd have to look and see who else was a candidate at center, but he's as good as anybody. Look, if they win a back-to-back championship this year, that tells you all you need to know about team's second best player and 2 straight championship teams potentially.
Yep. All right, World B, pulse check time. LaMelo Ball, and this one's perfect because he's taking one of those one-footed shots there. I don't know if you can see that in the camera or not.
Well, I'll say this. He's taking one of those one-footed shots that looks ugly, but they're going in lately. They're actually doing pretty darn good these days. Him and the rookie Con Knipple are really lighting up from the perimeter, and they're one of the reasons why Bruce mentioned how the Jazz are more competitive than we expected. The Hornets are definitely playing a whole lot better these days, and they're getting really good shooting. He's one of the reasons. He's one of these guys, I think, now they have a young core going, a younger core, even more younger than LaMelo Ball. There's a lot of rookies. No team plays more rookies, by the way, than the Hornets. More minutes. They get by a mile, too. It's not even close. And they're productive. So now you're looking at LaMelo Ball like, all right, I can be a leader on this team, or I can be a key cog on a team that's getting better, as opposed to being a key cog on a bunch of also-rans. I don't think they have enough to get into the playing field this year. Maybe they do, but they're playing much better, and he's one of the reasons. His numbers are getting better, and he's really much improved from the outside, even with that 1 foot jumper.
All right, Bruce, last one's a fun one here. I hope you can get it. That is James Nagy, former big man for the Charlotte Hornets and current big man elsewhere right now.
Hey, listen, the Baylor University has put a lot of guys into the NBA, and now they've done the opposite with him. They've taken a guy from the NBA and put him on the Baylor Bears. So what else needs to be said? He's a historic figure in the game of basketball at this point.
And maybe one of the toughest questions I have as a follow-up ever on this show for you. Is this his true rookie card, or will be another rookie card that's better than this one? I don't know.
He's definitely a contender for Big 12 Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, there we go.
So is he like the scene from the movie Major League when they asked the catcher, Tom Berenger's character Jake, hey, what are you doing here in the majors? And he says, I couldn't cut it in the Mexican League. Is that what when he goes to Baylor? Is that what they say? What are you doing here? I couldn't cut it with the Hornets.
Yeah, I think so. What else are you going to say to that? I mean, that's a good point there. So fun stuff, guys. That was a job well done by the both of you. And with that will do it for this edition of the 48 Minutes podcast on Believe. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back with you next week. Be sure you're up to date in 48 on all things around the association. Have a great weekend.